Isn't he doing Mallrats too?
He's been saying that for years. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be bringing you a review of this movie, Holiday. An anthology horror movie focused and based around holidays with each specific theme.
Centered around the holidays. It starts with Valentine's Day.
Yes. Valentine's Day, the premise is the girl's is in a swim team getting bullied. She gets picked on by the I guess the prettier girls, even though they were whatever. But she's getting picked on, or she likes her coach.
He does a nice gesture.
He does a nice gesture for her, and then she wants to give him some love. So I mean, you can kind of piece it. The Valentine's Day story was nice. It was well filmed.
Right.
The tension between the girls was well acted. You kind of felt bad for the one girl because she was. Whoever that actress was, she really did look awkward. Like, I'll give it to them. They looked awkward. They didn't look like actresses pretending.
Each kill for each holiday is based on the holiday.
Sometimes.
You figure it out from there for the first couple. Well, the first couple.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
And then from Valentine's Day, we move on to St. Patrick's Day.
That was probably the second most confusing one. I guess if you know the real lore of St. Patrick's, maybe it has something to do with what was really going on.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Something about snakes. I don't know.
Fucking birth to a snake monster or something. That's not even a spoiler because they basically say that in the middle of the story that you're pregnant with a snake.
Yeah.
And then there's just weird things that happen at the end, which I do not even understand.
Like Danny Zuko?
Danny Zuko shows up.
From Greece, yes, that's right. Danny Zuko from Greece. Not John Travolta, but the character of Danny Zuko.
And the snake has his hair. And it's
it's
weird.
And then humanize.
Animal people all over the place. I don't know. It was weird.
It was very, very strange. And I was kind of on board with this scene to where it was going to go. And I was like, wait a minute, this is not going anywhere. This is just...
That ending really threw me off. And for our next story, we get into the glorious holiday of
Easter Bunny. Now, this is absolutely the best story.
It is the top line of absurdity.
Well, this section was, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And it had more creepiness in this one section than I've seen in probably about 10 horror movies in the past couple years.
The imagery of that will stick with you.
Yes.
For the rest of the night you're watching that.
Very, very
the rest
crazy.
of your night.
I'm not going to really spoil what it is.
I was going to say, that's the one movie you shouldn't say nothing about.
You kind of have to see it to believe it. It had prosthetics in it. It looked good. It was very creepy. The atmosphere was all within this one apartment, but it was dimly lit.
Right.
So you really couldn't see what was going on. Again, the little girl actress was great in it. It was probably the best one, I would say, in this whole
Mother's Day.
Another one with a baby.
Story of a girl who, every time she had sex, got pregnant. So she had abortion after abortion after abortion after abortion. She had about 20 abortions. Her doctor sent her to this resort for fertility. It's a cult. They basically use her to get, I guess, the other women pregnant. I don't know.
They didn't even say that.
No, it was
They didn't even say that.
They wanted her to give birth.
They wanted her just to give birth.
Ultimate being, I guess. I don't know.
They didn't even say that either.
1 minute she's there with a bunch of women that can't get pregnant. The next minute she in a hot tub with the old lady touching her.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
They drugged her. That one, after the high of the the Easter one, that one kind of brought it back down to like, all right. There was really nothing to that story. And then after that was Father's Day.
Which is basically the story of a girl. She gets a letter in the mail. Well, a package. It's from her dad. She hasn't seen her dad in years.
Mm-hmm.
He basically sends her a cassette tape. It's a cassette tape of the last day she had with him as a child.
Yes, it's...
But also in it, he's also guiding her adult self to basically find him.
He says that this is the tape that you'll know where to find me when you're older. This one had a lot of promise to it. Like, I was kind of interested on where they were going with it,
right,
but I think at the end they kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
I'm confused on the ending.
Because the ending was just like...
She walked into a building, next thing you know she's outside in a whole bunch of
Yeah, it was weird. And it wasn't very clear on what the dad wanted, or what, if that was her dad, if it was something else. They dropped the ball. It was such an interesting premise.
Through the whole time she's listening to this old ass cassette players like this big, with some old headphones of her and her dad when she was little, but also guiding her back to where the last place she saw him.
Right. Yeah,
she doesn't even remember what it was. And we don't even know because it's just an abandoned building. But
it looked like some kind of. It was like in the middle of the town, and it looked like a government center kind of building.
Yeah,
I mean there were cool things in it, like when she's walking past the gate. You know, she's listening to it, and as she's walking past the gate, her kid version, she hears a kid version walk past the gate, and she hears her with a stick, you know, twirling the stick on the gate, so you hear the clickings of it.
Yeah, no, that's probably the best part of it. Like, the imagery of, like, because, like, when she gets there, it's totally deserted and desolate, but as she's listening to it, yeah, it's very visually stunning, but when she's listening to it, you hear, like, it as it was, like, alive. You hear what was going on back then, and how it looked like the place was, like, actually, like, a functioning town. But then the end just kind of drops the ball. Like, if you just tweak that one, it could have been good.
After that, we go to Halloween. Right?
We just skip right to Halloween. Yeah. Halloween, it was the beginning of the things where I think they didn't understand. Maybe some of the directors didn't get the premise of it.
Halloween's the Kevin Smith one, by the way.
Yeah, Halloween is directed by Kevin Smith. While okay, had absolutely nothing to do with Halloween. And that's probably the easiest one you could have made.
Yeah, I mean, you had Halloween, and at no point, aside from them saying it was Halloween, did you know it was Halloween?
Or because they were dressed up in costumes.
Right. Maybe that was the twist. Kevin Smith was like, well, you know it's Halloween. Everybody does a Halloween killing. Let's just change it.
It's essentially about these 3 cam girls that get a hold of their... I guess you're there as a pimp. Is that what he was, technically? Is that what a cam girl's boss is?
I guess he's their cam...
Whatever the house owner, I guess.
Cam pimp? Yeah.
House owner, the guy that owns the house where the girls film their cam stuff in. Basically just getting revenge on him.
Yeah, it was just like a torture porn thing.
Right. It was kind of a sexploitation.
Yeah, kind of like hostile-ish. Other than the fact that they were dressed in costumes that had nothing to do with Halloween. That one kind of defeated the point. It kind of broke the immersion of the anthology. You know, Valentine's Day, you know, you get it. At the end of that one, you get why that's Valentine's Day related. The other ones you get, the Father's Day is her father, the Mother Day is her giving birth. The Easter thing, it's a certain thing, it's a certain lore.
The St. Patrick's Day.
The St. Patrick's Day was Irish lore of what St. Patrick was, but this Halloween one, the easiest one you could do for horror, they just were like, it takes place on Halloween.
That's it. That's all you got.
And that's probably one of the weakest ones.
Yeah, I think that was probably the weakest one. That's a shame too, because I had high hopes for that.
And then we skip Thanksgiving, go straight to Christmas.
Christmas was another one.
You know what? That
had
one,
a little bit to do with Christmas.
That one more than Halloween, I think, really didn't have to do with Halloween much at all.
It had a cool premise though.
It had a cool premise. Yeah.
Unfortunately, because it's filmed in LA, you know, there's no snow, so you don't really even get the Christmas vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
But the stores didn't even have Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
it was filmed in LA, Josh. It wasn't Christmas time when they filmed it.
What you mean?
It was just about a father trying to get the new hot item for his son, which is this VR type thing that links to your mind and can show you what you want. Other people get the helmet and you can apparently see other people's things, even though they clearly state that you can't.
Because it was tailored to you, but whatever.
It really went nowhere. Even when you see the horror aspect of it, of the ending, the shock ending, the twist, it was just kind of like, oh, that's crazy, and then it just ended. So it was like, I mean, that had nothing to do with Christmas.
And then we come to the final story, which is New Year's Eve. Which I gotta say, probably picked the movie back up for me. Actually.
Yeah, basically she went on a date on New Year's Eve.
But that one was kind of crazy. That one's kind of weird, though. I don't know how you could tie New Year's Eve into really.
Isn't that kind of like that?
The only unfortunate thing about that is it has like such an obvious twist.
Yeah. It's another thing you call a mile away. It starts with a serial killer trying to find girls basically on a dating website. And he finds this one girl who may not be what she seems to be, but you can kind of figure that out. It's very, very simple. Very, very. There's nothing really creepy about it. There's nothing.
And there's nothing wrong with being simple because simple sometimes works. So, which in that case it did work. Overall, what do you think?
Overall, I liked the beginning of it. I think it trailed off at the end. Most anthologies always have a problem where they either start really strong, trail off at the end, or they're very weak in the beginning. So, I mean, it's not all awesome. Started off pretty good, and then it got better, and then it got really great. Like, the spike was high, and then it just kind of, like, slowly piddled, and then it kind of just stayed even. In particular, the Mother's Day one, that was probably the only one I found was a little bit boring.
I enjoyed them. I thought that, again, like, the beginning, the way it started was, I liked the beginning, I liked the first story, I liked the second story. We get to Easter. Easter's the pinnacle of it. And then from Easter, we go just on a slope down.
Yeah.
And it sucks because, you had such an opportunity to do certain things. The Mother's Day story, I felt could have been stronger. It could have actually been a different story. I probably liked it a little bit better.
Yeah, especially since, like, the St. Patrick's Day one was kind of like a mirror of it because it was another thing involving a baby.
Yep.
And it was like, we kind of just saw this.
Father's Day, if we just tweaked the ending, it probably would have been a way better piece than it was.
Father's Day was probably, in my opinion, was the only movie that probably could have been a real movie.
Yeah.
If you had that setting and you gave it a little more thought, a little more detail, that could probably have been an actual full-length movie.
If explaining the end of it would have been a lot more better.
If you dug more deep into that, it would have been better.
It would have.
I would recommend it. The beginning is great until you get to Easter, which is the pinnacle of it, and then it skyrockets down. Yeah. And then it tries to pick itself back up with New Year's, but at that point, it's the end of the movie, so there's nothing else you can really do.
The other ones were okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and even his was like, whatever.
If it wasn't for that one scene in the gas station where he was buying something and you saw Halloween candy, you would never fucking even know.
Yeah, that's true too, because then he tossed it at them and said trick or treat.
Because even though they were wearing costumes, they were cam girls. And cam girls were, not that I know this, I'm just saying. Cam girls were costumes.
Not that we know or
sometimes.
Actually, you know what? I'd probably give it a 6.
6?
A 6.
See, I was falling more along the lines of like, I was gonna say 8 because it started really good, but I'm gonna say about 7. But as an anthology, I thought it was pretty nice. It was tight. All of them were at least kind of interesting, except for the exception of Mother's Day.
Right.
Mother's Day was probably the most boring, but if the other one didn't have anything to do with a baby, Mother's Day might have been a little more interesting, but because we already had a baby
and then it has the same ending.
And exactly, it had the same exact ending. It was just shock value for something coming out, and it was just like, we just saw that. And the other one was more shocking because it was confusing.
it was a snake with hair.
Yeah, that was so confusing. Not the best. It's not like, if you're looking for like a Trick or Treat, or one of those anthologies where everything ties together in one grand, it's not that.
Yeah, there is no overarching story like in Trick or Treat or VHS 1. So that's a review of Holidays. Let us know in the comments what you think about it. If you're going to see it, if you want to see it, if you haven't seen it, if you did see it, tell us what you think about it. And if you have seen it, tell us what you thought about Easter.